Relaxation and efficiency are your friends when it comes to executing any physical motion on the guitar. Frankly, I'm a big fan of straps. Even though you don't technically need a guitar strap to play when you're sitting, they help me be more relaxed because I don't have to feel like I'm hanging onto the guitar. Also, they allow me to keep a very consistent playing position between my sitting position and my standing position, which I think helps an awful lot. Here's another thing that straps allow me to do. They allow me to control the angle of the guitar relative to my body. This allows me to flare the neck out a little bit and reach forward to the neck, which feels a little bit more comfortable to me. This also solves the problem of what to do with the right hand because it makes the reach a little bit less in the right hand, which is also very relaxing. When it comes to the left hand, I tend to play with a basic classical style technique where I keep my left hand fingers fairly parallel to the frets. I use a natural curve of the fingertip. I don't extend too much. I don't curl too much. And I always play up on the tips of the fingers. Let me make an important point about the left hand thumb. I think it's very important that the left hand thumb should always be in a state of motion. You should keep it moving in a nice flowing way. If you lock your thumb down, you force the arm and fingers to do uncomfortable things to move to other strings. Now, it's not necessarily wrong to put your thumb over the top of the fingerboard if you're going to do bluesy type bends which require that technique, because it does allow you to rotate your wrists. So if you use this technique of putting your thumb over the fingerboard for these kind of bends, that's fine, but when you're done, get your thumb back behind the fingerboard and get up on your fingertips. And by the way, the reason I carry the guitar neck as high as I do is because I want to have access to all of the notes on the frets without having to bend my wrist to do it. Again, keeping things very relaxed. Now it comes to the right hand. When I'm playing pick style, I hold the pick between my thumb and index finger, and I make sure that as much of the fleshy part of the thumb is on the pick as possible. The thing that I see young musicians do, which I very much disagree with, is to use anchors. I don't want you pressing your hand down on the strings or holding onto the top of the guitar. Keep things flowing much more nicely. If you need a physical reference, you can lightly touch the top string with your pinky finger when you're playing on the low strings, and then when you progress to the higher strings, you can allow the bottom part of the thumb to graze over the top of the strings. When it comes to playing fingerstyle with the right hand, we don't have anywhere near enough time to go into real classical guitar technique, though let me suggest to you that studying classical guitar is a very, very good idea. A couple basics of right hand technique. Again, use a nice natural finger curvature. You're using this motion of the fingers, not this motion. Okay? You do want your thumb and your index finger to miss each other. Don't play like this. Allow them to go past each other so they don't interrupt each other's motions. When you're playing fingerstyle, get a nice secure grip on the chord shapes that you're playing. And dig in and make sure that the chord is nicely balanced. Fingerstyle playing has become a much more important part of jazz guitar playing than it was, say, 20 or 30 years ago. Hopefully these tips will give you some ideas on how to modify and improve your own technique.